All right, Mr. A here, talking about this momentum physics lab and how to finish solving it. So data collection, sometimes students have a hard time with this step 4 right here that says 3 frames represent 0.1 second. And the main grid lines are separated by 10 centimeters. And you have to figure out the distance the cart travels in 0.1 seconds, which means you have to figure out how far it goes in how many frames? 3 frames. So let's do that. So here it is. Now the easiest way to do this on here is to go frame by frame. So I'm going to start here. Look at the nose of the cart. This is so convenient. The nose of the cart is right here on this grid line. So we could call this 0. And let's see if we can get it to jump 1 frame. I'm just going to make, oh, there's 1 frame. How many frames do we want though? We want 3. That's 2 frames. There we go. Is that 3? I think that's 3 right there. Let's double check. Let's go back. Sometimes it skips a little bit. You got to be logical. That looked like a big jump. So let's try again. So that's 1 frame right there. Ooh, see, I went too far. Two frames. 3 frames. There we go. So there's 3. And let's see, how far have we gone? Well, that was 0. So this is 10. That's 20. We're almost to 20. If we had to estimate this, what would you say? Hopefully about 18. So in 0.1 seconds, 3 frames, we went about 18 centimeters. We can use that to get a velocity for this clip, okay, and put that in our data table. All right in here. So distance covered would be 18 centimeters, and the time is 0.1 seconds. And to figure out the velocity, you'd go 18 divided by 0.1, which is 180 centimeters per second. Or if you wanted to convert it to meters per second, I know some of you really wanted to, that would be 1.8 meters per second. So that's how you could do this. The mass is given in the other video. And something else to notice. So this is our first cart. Our second cart, what's the velocity of that? Well, it's 0 because it's not moving. But once the collision happens, all right, they stick together, and now they're both moving at the same speed. So for this one, since they're stuck together, you're going to, for the second part, here, you're going to add their mass together, right, because there's 2 carts, and you're going to measure their final velocity. So an easy way to do that is to find something, maybe on this second cart, that you can measure. So I like to use the back end. So right about here, you could say this is, let's say if this was 0, and that's 10, that's 20, we could call this right about 21. And then we could measure 3 frames. There's 1. There's 2. I think that's probably 4 frames. There's 3 frames. So 3 frames, and it looks like we went from 21 to about 28 or 29. I'll let you choose. So you can figure out that difference, and that is again a distance. And our time is again 0.1 seconds, and so we can figure out a velocity from that. And that's now a velocity of the 2 carts combined together. So use that, think about all that stuff when you're trying to fill out your chart.